Good evening, guys and girls. And tonight we are talking frequencies. Ooh.
Woohoo! I didn't even need to say a word there, folks. Ian bent me right to the post. I went to go, and he went, blah, 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 blah.
Well, you said we were running the show.
Well, you are running the show tonight, guys. I've gave these guys a total free reign of the show, and I'll tell you why, guys. Hi, Nigel. How you doing? Hi, Eric. Hi, Sarah Louise.
We'll tell you why.
Hi, Jamie. Night, my darling. No, I'll tell you why, guys, right? Because Bri and Ian picked a subject. Well, Bri picked a subject, right? And Ian and Bri are really, really good about this subject. So instead of me sitting here making a total ass of myself and not knowing what I'm talking about, Cliff, I'm going to take a lesson for these guys tonight. So tonight I'm going to let them run the show. So please feel free, guys, because I'm going to be brutally honest. And do you know what? This is quite good that people can see, the viewers can see that if there's something that we don't know it. I'm not going to come on here and start shitting it and start acting like I know what I'm talking about. So,
when's
guys,
that happening?
Fuck you, Mr. Barrow. Eric, these frequencies is my favourite subject too. Hi, Lynn, who's just eating her tea. I hope it's something nice. Right, so I'll let you take centre stage. Oh, thank you, Sarah Louise. You're nice to me. She says, Lois, I can listen to you no matter what you say. Oh, thank you, honey. Hi, Anthony.
But we'll listen to you.
Fuck you, asshole. Right. So, guys, tell me about frequency, right?
Well, you'd obviously know that frequency is, what sound is on. So basically, over the many, many years I've been investigating, when you're trying to communicate in a house with something, you pick up voices on different equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this alters in every case. So obviously, whatever we are communicating with is talking on a different frequency to what we were communicating with before. So, and then of course you've got the equipment, which obviously records at different frequencies. I've even had it in the same house where two recorders, and you've got two spirits talking back on different recorders, which can be very confusing. But as I've said before, we need to find somebody like Gary Galka who could design something that when you go in a place, whatever is in there, you can try and source which frequency they're talking on.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point because every location's got its different frequency. It vibrates at a different frequency, like churches and cathedrals, because they're built of sandstone. They vibrate at a totally different frequency to a house. People don't really. It's one of them things they don't realize things like that. They don't look at frequency. Everything's got a frequency. Even things that are not calibrated by frequency, such as voltage. If you can do the maths, because it'll not give you a frequency reading for it, but it'll give you a voltage or a wattage, and then you can do the maths and change that to a frequency. I'm not that clever, but I'm aware that you can do that. We'd need somebody with a maths brain for that one. But I've got a few. I mean, what frequency do humans work at? For example, we work at 7.5 hertz and 4.6 at rest, so we can change. Naturally, we change, and all different animals have a different frequency. I.e., a tortoise that's got a low metabolism, low vibration, that will be somewhere around 2. And then on other end of scale, you've got hummingbirds that are something more like 12, for example. So frequencies everywhere, and I mean everywhere. I was talking about on a previous show about high-powered power lines. Well, I found it. High-powered power lines are between 50 and 60 hertz. It's quite high, but I didn't know this. In France and in some states in America. Good evening.
Hey guys.
Hey.
They use the pylons themselves as transmitters, which I didn't know that. I would have thought 50 and 60 hertz would have blanked a lot. It would have been more like white noise. And they wouldn't have found a frequency to be able to cut through it, but they can, apparently. And do. I don't know why we don't use it. Probably because we're on 240 volts rather than 110. Might have something to do with it.
I'll quickly run through these comments. Area Anthony says sound waves have way messing up people's way of thinking and even making a person sick. Hi, Annette. Anthony says that's great ideas for a tool. Eric says that's what I'm trying to do now. Is invent a device that can hear these frequencies. Lynn says, I love going bass because their frequencies puts me straight into meditation. Amazing. Anthony says, brainwashing and sound waves. Here's a question for you, right? Do you think, right, say if you found the right frequency for ghosts to obviously communicate, do you think that would be a way of changing maybe some skeptics' minds?
Yeah, possibly, but again, as I said, the frequency changes and depending on who it is.
Yeah. They've all got different, as voices transmit at different frequencies, depending on how low or how high your voice is.
I mean, I've had many cases where we think we've got absolutely nothing because there's nothing on the spirit box, nothing on the audio recorders, and then I get home and I'm going through the camera footage. And I've got responses to everything I've asked on the camera, which is so good when I've got home. You know, if
Irene.
If at the time it happened, all the better.
Yeah. What's your take on it? Yeah, Nick.
I'm sorry. What was that?
What's your take on it?
You know, it's a really interesting question. I think in some way the frequencies, man. See, I didn't really have enough time to prepare myself for this. I just got out.
Do you know what? I put my hands up at the start of the show and said, "You know what, guys? I'm not going to make a fool of myself tonight." And I'm glad that people can see me be honest and open and say, if there's something I don't know, I really don't know, and this is just no my speciality.
Yeah, our teams, all our teams are like that. But I've done a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of research on it. It's something that fascinates me, always has, and it's something that, as we've already touched on, it's a big factor in investigating because every venue is different. These little apps and gadgets that we use, the blanket, basically. I mean, EMF, for example, that detects at 100 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz. That's such a small window, really. Yeah. So this is why sometimes you go and there's nothing. It's not picking a thing up. And then other times it's going crackers. But again, people are so naive with it that they'll use it in an empty house where even if this pipe's still in there, it can register because copper gives a vibrational signal. Even if it's not connected to electricity, it still gives a vibrational signal that an EMF detector can pick up between 100 and 300 hertz. So it's something that people need to be aware of.
Pipes in your house should be grounded to earth anyway, so you'd still get that.
Exactly. It's going to come through. And this is another point that I've made as well, and I keep making. I'm sick to death of seeing people. You watch all these investigators and they've got millions of different gadgets. Now, they're all working on slightly different frequencies, but they're around that 100 to 300. But they've got them within a foot of each other. There's hundreds on them. And you're thinking, why? They're only going to kick off against each other, no matter what. You know what I mean? They're too close. They're putting too close to each other. You need one in a room for me. And even then, you've got to put it in middle or away from, as I say, copper pipes and things like that.
Eric, give me 2 minutes and I'll send you the link.
They're okay in places like cathedrals, churches, where there's not many fittings, what they call electrical fittings.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere is different in there as well. Go on, Love.
What I was saying there, and then it froze and it broke up. Right, here's a question for you, right? Because we talk about frequency, right? And you guys have really, like, Ian did make me think yesterday when I was speaking to him. But do you know what I'm thinking? Oh, I know you don't do it often. In fact, can one of you guys send Eric the link, please? Because I'm no on that one. If one of you could send him the link, that would be great. No, I was thinking, right? What? And I know this is just so random, right? So please bear with me. But what if natural disasters work off of frequency?
That's actually, I definitely think in some way, yes, they definitely do work on some frequency.
Well, look at volcanoes and things like that. I mean, they're detected by calibration machines, which they start vibrating on a vibration, so it's going to pick up frequency up. So yeah, they're early warning systems for volcanoes and tornadoes. One or two other things. I mean, what's the precipitation? Oh, that's my big word down here.
Yeah, precipitation.
They're measuring it all the time, so it's on a frequency. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, of course they can. Yeah, lots of things. Everything can be measured. Diamonds, which is carbon. Carbon, for example, that's 2385.7 centimeters squared, or whatever they call it. Cubed, whatever. I don't know.
I'm not going to ask. Listen, we are market.
Yeah, don't worry, I did maths.
Well, you know, I was going to say this actually, though, and this kind of coincides with this frequency, and it's like when you brought up with some of the natural disasters. I mean, for an area like where we live, where we have to deal with tornadoes, basically, there's actually like this old, not necessarily an old wives' tale, but supposedly that tornadoes were able to like cause certain frequencies. Like, for example, I mean, not necessarily, but there were supposedly legends that tornadoes could supposedly like cook potatoes in farm fields because the way how fast they spin, and you know, the faster they move, you know, sometimes the warmer it gets, like, you know, when you're using something that goes really fast. But then in later legends and more recent ones, it was believed that they were able to somehow kind of direct traffic in some kind of way, or even contribute to the Earth's rotation since they rotate.
I mean, they're also linking now things like crop circles.
Yep, crop circles.
That type of thing, yeah.
Yeah, because they sometimes, especially the ones that have multiple vortices in them, they make those spiral ground markings. Yeah. And they very much resemble crop circles in a way. But I think in some way, definitely, like, they definitely have some kind of frequency, especially, like I said, the later version I mentioned about, you know, that they have some contribution to even the Earth's rotation.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's it, then, Eric. But do you think, right? See if you could find, and this is just me, right? But see if they found a frequency that they could pin that could give that better warning when it comes to natural disasters, because you have like systems for tornadoes, you have systems for earthquakes.
Well,
but
personally, I would say watch the animals in natural habitat.
Yeah,
because they all.
Well, do you know, funny enough, when you always see, and you just see it in film, is when, oh, who's getting the knee noise?
Yeah, what?
Did you hear that? Or did you hear the noise, or was it just me?
What did you
I
hear?
heard it.
I heard it on somebody.
The siren?
Yeah, it's got to be
Oh,
next.
that's
was American.
That's coming from my side because I have the windows open. It's really nice today. So
it sounded like Ecto 1 going past.
No, it's just trouble in the neighborhood. It doesn't happen
animals
it doesn't
got
happen
to be
Here comes Mr. Eric.
Hey,
what's up, Eric?
Hey.
But it doesn't happen frequently, but it does happen on several occasions, though, because the main road is just right outside our backyard.
Yeah. Animals, like you're saying, Lewis, animals have got an inbuilt thing, but so have we. You'll hear people saying that their ears have popped when they're climbing at an altitude. Well, it's the same sort of thing. It's just a body's reaction to a frequency. So yeah, we can pick it up. Storm chasers have got an innate way of finding storms. They can smell them. They can. The teeth chatter. Some people have heard that. The teeth chatter when they get close to a storm.
Hey,
There's
Robert.
loads of different things, and this is the vibrational pull, the frequency that people are sensitive to. What's he say? What's Cliff saying?
Yeah,
Well,
Clint makes a very good point.
I'll let you read it, Nicky.
Volcanologists use what's known as infrared sound monitoring to detect rumblings and explosions inside volcanoes and pick up low frequency pitches that can't be heard by human ears. And that's something I'm very familiar with. That a lot of volcanologists use them.
Yeah. And that's why bats can pick up by a type of radar the prey. They're using the frequency just the same, but they're listening. They're using it through ears. Frequencies can be detected by loads of different methods, and that's another thing that people don't realise. The actual way that you measure it varies. As I said, there's some things like electricity is measured by volts and watts, but if you're clever enough, you can translate that into a frequency. I won't be able to do the maths, but it can be done.
In fact, have we got any? Does any smart scientist that's good with maths that could come on and explain the whole frequency? Not that I would understand.
Yeah,
but I would try.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it takes knowledge of quantum physics to even understand it. So.
Oh God. Do you know what I feel like Penny out of the Big Bang Theory the night? I'm just sitting here and it's like in my ears and it's going.
It's all right.
Ginger Penny.
In fact, no. I was going to say Ian could be my Leonard, but no, it's Nick that's got to be my Leonard.
Well, I like being Sheldon, thanks very much.
Well, me and Dan were talking about this kind of same thing recently, and a guy invented a shortwave radio for a spirit box to sweep through channels and was getting better results than the regular spirit boxes were.
And what frequencies do they work on, Eric?
I don't know exactly what frequencies, but I know they're a shortwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer my spirit box by taking the aerial off, which is completely enhanced mine.
Yeah, shortwave. I think is that 40 megs, something like that. I think it's 40 megs. Because your Citizens band is 27 megs, obviously, which is the same frequency that we use for remote control. Radios and models and things like that. And a lot of your gadgets today that we use for ghost hunting, they're on 27 megs as well. And this is why a lot of people think, wow, what's happening? What's happening? Because when you get a text, it comes through on a similar frequency. So it's going to kick off. It's going to make these models jump or move or whatever or run right room. Like it used to do back in there when you got a CB radio and Ben's toys would be on floor and all of a sudden it'd shoot across floor. It's exactly the same thing. It's frequency again. Frequency interferes with a lot of things, especially equipment.
Yeah, it does explain why ghosts are good at turning tellies on and off, though.
Exactly. Well,
Well, Ian, if you stop watching the dirty channels, then they wouldn't need to come now.
I haven't got the channel, thank you very much.
Well, even if you try playing touch by a spirit has got to be at a vibration frequency that will make it almost somewhat solid. So, it's all vibrations.
Yeah, like quartz, for example. If you've got a piece of quartz that's vibrating and you touch it, you're not going to get a shock, but you're going to get a feeling from it like it's real, like it's human touch. And that's been proven. So we need to look at them frequencies. But to answer another question, Ian, torches. People say, "Oh, I've switched my torch on and look at that reaction and whatever." Again, it's frequencies interacting. A digital torch or LED torch can be manipulated a hell of a lot more than an ordinary torch.
Yeah.
There is no calculation actually for a bulb torch in frequency because it's totally different to an LED. And an LED can be changed, and you can turn an LED torch on and off without the switch using frequency. Now then, so that's been used in trickery. Go on, sorry.
Robert says the military was dabbling with it to make people's organs explode. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
know that either.
I've been experimenting with doing a lot of things with frequencies.
There's a chap I know that I want on one at shows, Lewis. They call him Radio Rod. He's into demons and stuff.
I
think you brought him up to me before.
He's also brilliant. Yeah,
I think you remember telling me that.
Yeah. But he's also good with that side of things as well because he used to be in the military and he's witnessed quite a lot of things. In fact, I do believe they put him up a couple of times as well. So it'd be interesting to get him on.
Well, Nick, because I looked at Nick's name there and I was like, holy shit, Notorious Nick. I'm not going to even ask that one.
So
that
was an idea that was, Lois, Jan, right? Jan Lynn?
No.
She's with us on the Thursday night show on Supernatural Talk. And she came up with this name. She wanted me to type it out, and it was Notorious Nick. So she wanted me to type that out.
Well, thank God it's not Notorious Dick, or I'd be worrying that. Bri, can you get in contact with that radio guy?
Yes, we can, yeah.
Right, well, what I'll do is, because I've already got Wes Coleman sitting, waiting for dates. So what I'll do tonight is, over the weekend as well, if you have got guests, please message me them. And what I'll do is, I'll work out dates.
You got the two that I proposed to you anyway.
See if I give you dates, Bri, just you go back and ask if that suits them.
Yes, fine. So yes, frequencies. Yeah, you can run a frequency against another frequency and cancel it out. You can make it react. That's been proven. The thing that you were talking about, Lewis, is microwave. Military did a hell of a lot of research with microwave, and that's how it actually came round to being used as a domestic thing with microwaves. Containing it, that they found a way to contain it, and it became a utensil. It's as simple as that, really. But before they were exploding all damn sorts with it because it's dangerous.
Well, if you think about back then when they were doing electric shock therapy and mental health, the same thing that they've been using.
Well, exactly. And again, frequency.
Lynn says, the military most probably made that dabbling into a killing machine and possibly got a machine using it now. Sarah Louise says the police use sound to disperse kids.
Yeah.
Reader's all shocked. Sarah says, that is true. They use that frequency to keep kids from certain areas like shops and areas that gather young people. Believe it or not, there's a bus station down at my area. Well, it's not in my area, but it's in about 3 towns away from me. Yeah. And the kid, fuck up English.
It's in my area. It's about 3 years away.
I hope your next shite's a hedgehog, you prick. Right. Next howling, he's like that. He's like that. Oh, he's like 2 minutes. 2 minutes, lads.
Actually, I think that's the reason. One of the reasons for these 5G towers. We never needed them for 4G, 3G, whatever, but they're putting these so-called 5G towers up. And I think they've got another application. I really do believe that they'll be used as part of control. Because, again, we're learning more and more, and we've got frequencies that we don't like as humans. And if you can vibrate, you can send a frequency. It's not seen, it's not heard, it's not perceived, shall we say. Other than, if you're going to hear it, you want to go away from it. So I believe that these are going to be used as control methods and to keep us away from certain areas.
We don't know. I want to do a frequency so that Ian can hear this one.
Keep on knocking.
That poor man, he takes it well. He does, he takes it well for me. He's odd, to be fair.
It's all right, I've booked the hitman.
Oh, have you? Oh, smacking. I can't even. It wouldn't have to be Notorious D.I.C.K., would it be?
Yeah.
That's totally been Nick Ted nights like that. Fuck this shit, I'm bored.
Yeah, I'll transfer the money later, Nick.
I'm going to get shot.
So I had to take care of a text. That's why I had to mute myself for a few minutes. Because here's the thing, actually, when I get off after this, I'm actually going on a part-time investigation with a friend of mine. So it'll be interesting to check out.
Nice one. Yeah, that chap that I mentioned to you last time when I was talking to you, Nick, about Radio Road. I think you've just mentioned him. I couldn't hear what you said. Was it Chad Zumwalt?
Thumbs up.
No, I'm old.
Who's that?
Sorry, Bri. They're all putting me off. Blame on them. We'll just blame on them.
Nick, do you know Chad Zumwalt?
I think you brought him up before. No, I could have sworn you brought him up before at one point.
Is that the radio guy? Or am I thinking somebody else?
No, he's a young chap. He's connected to quite a famous place in America that Nick actually has researched himself. So I thought he would, that were all.
Yeah, I thought you brought him up. You brought up Chad before. I know it was not on one of the shows. I think it was when we were talking backstage.
Yeah, correct. But yeah, like I said, frequencies. There's not many people are working with frequencies. They're trying other. I keep saying it, and I know I keep saying it. Maybe I shouldn't really, but it's turning into entertainment more than investigation, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
And that's the reason for a lot of these gadgets. Some of them have got a place, but I don't think they're used in the right way.
No, I don't think so either. See, the way I always use the equipment, I always used it correctly. So I never used it. And I know I won't be, you know, when I head out, but I know I won't be doing it then either. So I've always done it correctly.
Yeah. And there is. Our groups are fantastic, but you know, some of them, terribles.
I know. Eric, just tell us all to shut up. Just say, look, I came on here to talk shit and use bastards and all that.
Oh, this is great. I love listening to everybody.
This is just Friday night. This is just normal. This is.
Yeah, it's a bit more relaxed, isn't it? It's a bit more relaxed than most shows, let's face it.
We've got a good one.
Yeah. Nick's relaxed.
That's for that. I feel like I'm in Barbados.
I don't know if you've noticed, I ain't got a beer tonight.
What?
Oh,
I ain't got a beer tonight. Not tonight.
I didn't know there was a national shortage.
Well, I'm doing my bit. I've got pop.
guess what I've got tonight, lads?
Brew.
What have you
Brew.
I am brew.
Yes, your hair colour again, is it?
To go to Scotland just to try some of that. Somebody's got to send me some.
That's that, definitely.
You're not missing out, Eric.
Well, maybe one.
Imagine it's a little bit like you get cream soda over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little bit like that.
Okay.
Oh no.
No, not ours. Theirs.
Orange soda, maybe? I don't know.
It's an American cream soda. That's what I'm thinking. It's a little bit like, but that's your American cream soda. Ours is totally different.
I don't like American cream soda. My boy drinks that, and I'm like, ugh.
That's cool. Yeah. You won't like this then. Apple and elderflower. Woohoo!
Oh no.
That loves apparently love iron. She loves iron brew.
Yeah.
Good Nettie.
Up, same with Cliff.
Oh, me and Nick are notorious. We play tennis with the comments because we love going for it at the same time.
Made by Genders, made by Louis's hair.
I think Iron Brew gives you a bit of a kick at the back of your throat. It does, Lynn. It does, especially with vodka.
That'll be the rust.
Yes.
You're right, ginger beer is the worst. Oh, no. But do you know what my dad says? See if you're having the runs, the ginger beer is really good for like helping to settle your stomach. And I'm like, really?
I've not heard that one. I've heard it's good for travel. That was true.
Even doctors will recommend that. Flat Coca-Cola.
That's because it used to be made with cocaine.
It did.
A long time
There's
ago.
a lot of flavours. We've lost a lot of flavours. A lot of flavours were actually natural. They were introduced in Lancashire in temperance houses, and the temperance houses were brought in to try and get people off beer and alcohol, the wicked spirit. So they opened temperance houses, which were pop shops, basically. And that's where you actually got root beer. Root beer originated in a temperance shop, a temperance house in Lancashire, and was quickly taken to New York. So it became popular over there as well.
Yeah.
See, you
could
said
take water from hitting someone. I didn't know that.
They made pop to stop people drinking alcohol, but then us Scots just added alcohol to it, so it bypassed that situation.
And
I was thinking to myself what Robert said. I thought he said even cake don't taste the same, but when he said about Coke, well, this makes me wonder which Coke is he talking about? Is he talking about like the soda Coke or the stuff they make at manufacturing plants, or the illegal stuff like cocaine?
Cocaine was in Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Nicholas, is your real name Pablo Escobar? Have you been to Colombia, my friend?
Well, I hope not, because he's dead.
Aye, I'm not. Oh, see how
Any
that's what I'm
kilt you like.
That would be really good. You know, a paranormal show with a ghost in chat. That would be really something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you know we need to get on, don't you? Randall and Hopkirk.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
Brilliant, that would.
Do you know what? I'm going to change Nick's name to Pablo Escobar. See, you'll see a lot of draws dropping with Nick being known as notorious Pablo Escobar.
Oh boy, there's going to be an argument coming up of what name I should be putting up.
Well, your sponsor, I found you a sponsor already, Gorilla Glue.
Notorious NIC or Notorious NIK, instead of the NICK.
But
It's not KKK.
Wait, what?
KKK.
Oh my god, that would. Oh man, it would be so bad in a heartbeat because everyone thinks you part of KKK.
listen, see if you guys come on with fucking a sheet cut with the eyes, I will kill you.
Man, it would be so bad. We would be so banned immediately.
Do you know? Guys? Right? Well, we've not even had a year, right? And the show was up here, up to the sky, but the bastards brought it down with a KKK, and now we're struggling for views. Oh, they're killing me here.
That's what I'm buying them for.
Radio Rod's logo is a sheep with eyes in it. So let's to get him on.
Definitely. Well, what I'll do is I need to sort out dates because, as I said, I've got a few guests lined up. Obviously, the next 2 weeks after tonight, we've got guests. Next Friday's show, guys, is going to be into Saturday morning because we've got David Deans. The week after, we have Stephen Daly, who's a good friend of mine and paranormal investigator researcher. So he's coming on the 28th. And then I need to sort dates for the rest of, obviously, May, June and July.
Yeah.
So
I can get guests anytime you want, but we've got a few down at Dungeon, still waiting.
oh yes. Oh God, yes.
How far have we got with Jana Doom? Are we any further with that yet?
I've got the subjects there. So I've got a good few subjects for the Jared Doom, which is really, really good.
I thought you meant she was cooking us dinner for a minute there, Brian.
Listen, you cheeky fucker. Tonight I made pasta and sauce.
I'll settle for a pan of hash. Maybe a few dumplings.
I'll be right back.
Right, no bother, Nick.
No, I said I got to step off for just a sec. I'll be back in just a second.
Yeah,
it's all right. What's her name? Nick, what's her name? What's her name?
What's name?
The girl's name that you're running off for. What's her name?
Well, believe it or not, it is a girl I am going, but we're just it's just investigating though. Just investigating, I promise you.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
You're on OnlyFans while you're doing the show, Nick.
That poor boy, he takes it really, really well. Robert says, Nick's been here all shift. Oops, spoke too soon. I know he's fucked off again. Let's all slag him. But definitely, he can hear us. We can't talk about him that much, lads.
That'll be right.
I put you guys on the speaker of my monitor so I can hear you guys.
All right.
Don't talk about
Too late.
Well, I hope you're putting on the best aftershave, Nicholas. What aftershave you putting on?
Hey, Bobby's here. Good to see you, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby. For him who didn't see last night's show, we had Bobby on. He was great. Definitely going to have him again.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm actually going to try to get him on some of the other shows. So, because I think he would be a great candidate for some of the other shows that we have on these networks.
Definitely. So, what if it was possible, right? We could say, right? Because you have these like listening to this for the night, you have got me thinking. Obviously about frequency, and you actually don't realise how much you use it in everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere.
Well, it is everywhere. Everything vibrates with it too. Your tables, chairs, lamps, animals.
Exactly. It's just locking them down and learning them. We've got a natural affinity with some frequencies, like I said, and I think just touching back on these 5G poles that they're putting up everywhere, I really believe that they're going to be used as part of control to keep us away from areas or herd us towards areas using frequency. It's a powerful thing.
Yeah. Even when it comes to crowds and that, and they want to disperse them, they're just using for that.
Yeah,
exactly. Right, Nick, what she said, because that big smile on that face. We're getting dinged for a girl. What a bastard. Nicholas is like, I'm not telling you, nosy bastards. Mind your own business.
Oh, just like
hold on. I'm gonna delete that text message.
Hey, if she wants to take you to a dark room, that's something different. It's not it anymore, Nick. You're just going in the dark.
Well, actually, the place we're going to, it's not even a building at all. We're actually investigating a haunted wooded area, which is like about.
When you go down to the woods today, you're in for a big surprise.
Yeah, that's what you call tuna going into the.
Wait, what was that? You froze there for a sec. What?
That's what we used to call into the woods.
Because I was thinking, when you go down to the woods today, you're in for a big surprise, Nick.
That's no ghost you're hunting.
Yeah.
Poor Nick, he's no one.
Don't go. Wait a minute.
There might be a sheet involved.
Don't go down the woods in a car. Yeah, you know what's going to happen, probably, because I actually am going to be going live on this. You know what's going to happen, right? This probably is going to this is probably going to be the new upcoming sequel for Blair Witch Project. So,
is that what they call it these days?
So now you know.
3 days later, his footage was. 2-3 days later, Nick's footage was found. This is what happened to him.
I know what you've been doing now, Nick. You've been sorting your shroom delivery out, haven't you?
Nick.
I got your eye close to the screen and a tear going down.
Yeah. Someone mentioned that on another show. Who was it that brought that up? Oh man, was that Tom who said that? I don't remember who, but somebody said something like that on one of the other shows. I was
Nick, it's all right. See if anything happens, love. Just you press this, right, so I can see the red light.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to.
You don't need that, Louis. You don't need that one tonight. We can get a one.
I'm not sure I want. And then it says, I'm not sure I want to watch the Nick Project in the Woods. By the way, I hope this lady in question is not watching this show.
Yeah, it's not big. It's not Bigfoot she wants to worry about.
Probably getting the subway delivered a foot long.
No, I can assure you the Lois. No, she's not watching it right now, though. She's actually going to be leaving soon.
Oh my God! You take this well, Nick. You really do take this well. Fair play, you son.
This is also not the first time I've investigated her. I also did. What the hell? Three like Nick. What?
Because Bryce said about your son long foot.
You know, the third
What?
Shame on me. Fool me twice. Shame on her. And fool me 3 times. Well, I guess that's a third leg for me then.
Definitely not PG tonight. This is never PG.
That's why it says strong viewers discretion.
Yeah, we're going to change the word notorious to tripod, Nick.
Well, you know what? I always have said this for a lot of shows when they're not PG, but Sarah, actually, let me correct you for this. This is rated G for Gorilla Glue. Oh, I see your cat's on.
Aye. She likes climbing about me. Now it's gone from 2 to 3 off. You don't want to know any.
Do I even want to know when it goes from 3 to 4? Is that even worth it? Oh, yeah, I didn't know you had a cat too, Eric.
Yep, I have to.
So do I.
Oh, I know where she is. She made herself a little cot behind the curtain.
So, Nicholas, when do you have to excuse yourself for the young lady?
Well, she actually was going to pick me up like around 3 o'clock, so I was originally going to leave like in 10 minutes, but she said she's going to text me when she's leaving, so she hasn't left yet.
Oh! Now, young man, you be
rejected. Yes, 3.
No. Oh man, wow, we've talked frequencies. Let's sum up the night. We've talked about frequencies. Nick down the wood.
Okay.
We went 3-legged Nick.
How frequent does Nick go to the woods? Yeah, there's a frequency.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on, I got an idea here. Hang on.
Right.
There we go. Like Nick has a herd fly above him.
Oh, it's the pixelation behind you on the screen.
No, the name changed again.
Oh. There you go. The Notorious 3-legged Nick, huh? NIC.
The 3-legged NICK.
There you go.
The 3-legged KKK. Different.
3-legged NIC.
Oh, you took out the Notorious.
Well,
it's closer than Notorious.
We're gonna have
I was actually going to say three Nick. What is it we call it? Oh, aye, you'll be known as Nick Three Willies after Terry Two Willies.
Don't put stuff like that in my head. That way, when I see him, I'm gonna call him Nick Three Willies.
Oh, that poor boy. Usually it's Ian, but Ian's getting the night off, so it's young Nick that's getting it tight.
Well, maybe later.
Oh,
You never know.
woo!
Oh my God.
Three Willies are real.
Yeah,
You know what? We actually were talking last night. This is actually kind of interesting, but someone came up with a really funny comment on this. We were actually talking about on Supernatural Talk, life, like the possibilities of like colonizing and living on Mars. And someone had a really good comment saying, "Man, this is really interesting. You may want to ask Marvin Martian." Marvin Martian. That's a good name. Hey, Lois just turned into Jeremy.
I know, right?
I'm a good-looking bastard then.
Turn off oh wait, no, we got two of them.
Oh, no.
It's like you were seeing double.
All we needed was one more, Jeremy. It would have been like the Bee Gees are back together.
I am saying nothing. Right, 2 seconds, guys. I'll be back.
All right, so Jeremy's taking over again. Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to be that good-looking bastard. That's what it is.
We just told Lois last time she was just getting hairy.
I know. I really should straighten my moustache.
Mm-hmm. We need a beard.
Calm down that beard at least.
Oh, that's better. I look real sexy. Oh. By the way, I keep forgetting to ask Jeremy York if it's all right if I could kiddle nam him one night, just for the laugh, for the hell of it. I could be pretty cool with it.
I mean, I'm sure Jeremy's would possibly be open to. I mean, he's pretty open-minded for certain offerings for things network.
Oh God, aye. So it's like bees round a honey pot. That's what Nick said.
No, I didn't say that.
No, but I'm sure you'll say that later. Oh, that poor boy. We need to stop embarrassing him because it'll be her like that lassie watches this live. She'll be like, what the fuck?
Oh, she knows I film live with these investigations. She knows I do.
As long as she doesn't try and take my neck away, I'll be off her head drop. Can they take my boy?
It's actually a location I haven't been to in like several years, so I've actually been overdue to go back to Robinson Woods. So that's the location when it's called Robinson Woods.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. What's its history, Nick?
It's been a while since I really looked at the history, but I know it was an area where I think where Native Americans at one point once inhabited. There's actually one page I could probably look up. This might be. It won't give all the info, but at least I have some of it. So, from what I found actually just last night was visit to the Robinson family monument in the woods, particularly toward the left side. Get to experience left side of it. People have experienced haunts. Many have reported have seen, heard, and smelled what would indicate hauntings. Some have seen ghostly shadows, red or white orbs, ectoplasm, mist, heard strange sounds and the scent of violet and lavender when it was the dead of winter. While it is now a forest preserve, the land at one time was given to the family of Alexander Robinson, named after, obviously, where the woods is named after. Robinson was the chief of several Native American tribes. He helped save American lives, turned out, during the Fort Dearborn massacre. A large memorial marks the burial ground where his wife and several kin are interred, and it was promised that he'd also reside here when he died. But the city broke its promise, and he was buried somewhere else. Since then, many believe the haunting events are the result of his spirit presence here.
Oh, that actually sounds really interesting. Like, you'll need to take pictures for me, buddy, and send me them.
Yep.
That'd be interesting to see. Oh, you guys were on last night. Oh, Ian and Bri. Oh my god. Oh my god. Nick played the best footage I have seen. I am turning some shade of colours. That's because that Nick's talking dirty. That's what it is. What is ectoplasm?
You don't know what ectoplasm is, Robert?
It's
It's what?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't even see your change in the camera, Ian.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can control my front room light off my phone.
So, Robert, ectoplasm basically it's like it's kind of like a substance, if you will, and you see this a lot in different like paranormal photographs and videos, and you kind of look at, you've probably seen the pictures of like investigations from like 100 years ago, where sometimes when they did seances, it looked like it was kind of dripping out of their mouths. It looked like slimy, wet material, which it was believed for several years that was actually ectoplasm, when it turned out it was nothing more than just melt. It later turned out to be fake. It was just like melted cheese that they were using. So yeah, it kind of looks like snot in a way. It really did. But now that there's now been actual photographic evidence of ectoplasm, and it's nowhere close to what those pictures back in the 1920s looked like. Real ectoplasm photos, the ectoplasm itself is more misty.
Yeah.
It's essentially a type of mist in the end. It's nothing like, you'll see a complete difference between the fake photos and the real photos.
Yeah.
Last night, for anybody that missed the show last night, go back and watch what Nick showed me last night. It was the best evidence I have seen in a long while. Honest to God.
You know what? Do you want me to show that footage again here on this show?
Play it again, Sam.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Okay, so very quickly, so you guys know what, just right before I played. So where this was actually taken at the Crown Point Jail, which is out in Crown Point, Indiana, in Lake County, which is only about an hour east of me. Now, I've investigated this jail several times, and I've experienced stuff, but I've never captured anything. And we were actually trying to film a paranormal series. Jeremy was with us, but he wasn't the one that was there when this happened. It was actually me and my friend Don, who does the show Fear Fans on Tuesday. So we went up to one of the other floors of the jail to people, car, the woods, and now ectoplasm. So we're on one of the other floors. And we have we're filming two investigators who are doing a ghost box session. And I'm using it. I have my own night vision camera. I'm filming. My friend is filming nearby. And well, I'm just about to get the footage up. The footage will tell you the rest of the story. Now, nothing will happen, at least for the first 20 or so seconds. So be patient, but watch carefully when something does. I mean, when this thing appears. Like I said, it was my first time I ever captured any type of paranormal evidence. If you guys have a way to debunk, I've tried debunking this whatever it is, and I have not been able to. I mean, if you guys have ideas of what it could be, go for it. It's really weird. Just here it is. Now, you guys tell me what you guys see. Again, Give it about a good 20 seconds before it shows up. So that was me film. This is me filming. Look at this. You see that? This big black shadow that shows up.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know. Looks like it swallows his head.
That
It
is.
stays there for about a good minute.
As though it's trying to overcome his body, because you can see as though it's pushing itself down to see how far it can go. And then it's though it gets a fright, as though it doesn't see your camera at the beginning, so it looks like it's going down the way. And it just seems like it must be looking at your camera and then went whoosh.
Yeah, now I just went back for a second because I know some people are probably wondering, did I ever point toward the ceiling? I actually did briefly. I didn't really think of pointing it up at the time, but I did point it up briefly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it once I point it up for a second.
Well, you can see it comes
See,
down.
now here's
Ceiling.
yeah, there is nothing on this ceiling that could be causing this. Now, you have to remember, this was at a jail. The lights were off. The only lighting that you're seeing right now, that's actually coming from the night vision cameras. And you know, I don't know if you could really hear me, but I was at one when I usually whenever you capture something like this, it's usually after when you film something like this for a long period of time. This actually occurred while we were filming. I was looking through the little monitor on the camera, and I'm like thinking to myself, what the hell is that thing? I mean, I was whispering. I don't know if you could hear, but I was whispering to myself that, and I leaned over to Don, who was filming with his camera. I'm like, Don, are you getting this? Because I wanted to make sure at first if this was a shadow. Like I said, Don, are you getting this big shadow filming? And he said he's getting none of this. There's no shadow on his camera. It's only occurring on my camera. And I also kind of turned around because there were, yes, it is true, there were windows behind us that do face the downtown area. And I was actually checking to make sure it wasn't lights from outside that was causing me, like for me or something else that could have caused the shadow. If this was truly a shadow, I would have seen it, you know, personally with my own eyes, not on the camera. So, but here, this is where the footage gets more interesting. Watch what happens next. It still stays on these investigators, on this investigator's face.
A shadow wouldn't completely block him out like that.
Yeah,
it blocked his complete head. And he felt nothing when this happened. He didn't feel anything. See, it goes back up to the ceiling. But wait, hang on, there's more.
It's definitely compelling. I've been watching Shadow from that young lady, the back of that young lady, and there's no change.
1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hang on. This is see, it comes back a lot faster, and then it shoots back up, and at that point, it was gone completely.
Can I pause it?
Oh wait, hang on. Pause it to where?
Right there. See where the shadow is cast where her head is? They would have to make that shadow. There would have to be something between her and him to cover his face from the ceiling like that.
Yeah.
And it says that's a good catch, Nick.
I'm just gonna pause because it turned out I guess I did miss this. Apparently that I shot up to the ceiling again. So let's check that out. But hang on. See, it comes back. That is huge. Look at that. It goes. It's like a funnel shaped black mass. It goes all the way like this. It's like a giant tornado almost.
I mean, the first thing people would say to try and debunk it is someone's put their hand over the lens. But the fact that it's actually between her and him that's not the case.
Yeah. And, I did briefly, I didn't want to put my hand over the lens, but I did check. I kind of leaned over it just to make sure if there was nothing covering it to make that type of shape. And the camera was brand new and it was completely clean. So there was nothing that was blocking the camera.
If
I
it
actually
was
had one of those big, I had one of those big lens covers on it. So there was no possible way something like this could appear on camera.
Yeah. Well, anyways, even if it did, in front of the lens, it would cover part of her head too.
Right.
It wouldn't just cover his head. You know what I mean? If it was in front of your lens, it would cover the whole thing.
Yeah, to this day, other than knowing it's a black mess, I seriously have no clue what it is.
Nah. But the thing as well, if you look at their shadows are nowhere near as dark as that was.
Yeah, it does take the most of the top of the video on the screen.
No, it does. No, it definitely does. But it's a good piece of evidence. That is definitely a good one.
For me, capturing my first ever paranormal video evidence, that was definitely
that is fun to be proud of it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, tonight
I'm just gonna say this. I forgot to mention this also on the show.
No, you're fine, honey.
I actually at one point even considered about sending it to the show Paranormal Caught on Camera, see what they thought, and see if that would be something they'd want to show on their show.
Oh, let Brian have a look at it.
Bobby says, well, I thought about this. Spirits have no mass, but are made up of pure energy. So it's possible if something was there, the energy is interacted somehow with the camera, but no one saw it or experienced anything at the time. Weird. Maybe the spirit, even though the spirit must have been curious.
I asked the guys right after that footage. Actually, no, I think I even asked them at one point while we were still filming, because yes, as camera operators, you're not really supposed to be saying too much. But at this point, I had to say, have you guys been feeling over there where you're standing? And they said they felt there was nothing that they felt, no cold spots. It was just they were completely unaware of what was going on when we were filming.
No, I really can imagine. It's a really good piece of footage, definitely, without a doubt. Well, guys,
that's typical of what happens. The best footage I've got is the spirit at back of some bars at Cresbo Crags. It's on my page if you have a look at it. There's two versions. But we never saw it with his eyes. We never saw it, but camera picked it up, and that's typical.
And that's what I got. That's how I got this mess. We couldn't see it ourselves. It came onto the camera, but it only occurred on just one of our cameras. Don, friend Don, on the other hand, he did not get any of it on his camera. It was just my camera.
Do you know what, Nick? I think it would be interesting to have him on if he was interested in coming on to Fright-ners to talk about that experience. That would be really interesting.
Oh, the guys that were on the video, or
the guys that were on the video.
Yeah, I could see if I could talk to because Jeremy knows the people that run Crown Point Jail really well, so I could try to get Jeremy to try to reach out to him.
Yeah, that would be great. Next week, guys, our show is a late one. It's in UK time. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, Friday going into Saturday. We're having David Deans. On the 28th, we are having Mr. Daly. But as always, it's been a great show, guys, and I can't begin to thank these guys enough for what they do for me. And thank you, Eric, for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
But definitely, you all have a good weekend. And if you all want to catch Nick on the woods, just go to the woods live and just you tell us what you see.
Yeah, I gotta pack up I gotta start packing up as soon as I get off here, unfortunately. So, but no, this has been a great show.
It's been a great show, it always is. And thank you, Ian and Bri, for tonight, because definitely I'll be a year old by next week.
You'll be a year old by next week?
A year older. Happy birthday, Sarah. You need to let me know when so I can sing you a song. But I want to thank Brian Ian especially because, as I said tonight, guys, I would have been all fingers and arse because I'm not good with frequency. But guys, I've learned. I hate to tell Ian that I've learned a lot from him because I don't want him getting a fucking big head, Ken. This breaks my heart. This breaks my soul. Even telling him this. But thank you very much. I mean, you've educated me in something.
Yes.
Yeah, just hope you remember it for 5 minutes.
Asshole. Oh, Sunday. That's fine. We'll sing to you on Friday. We'll into early hours. Or we could just sing now while we're all here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God,
Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you.
We're voting your age from now on every year. Hey, you know what? People always, if you watch the Thursday night show I do with Jeremy, Eileen, and Adrian, and well, Jan now, they always will say that. I guess apparently my birthday is always the same to them. Because they claim that I'm 10.
Nick, I really don't want to think of you as 10.
Yeah.
Well, tell that to Eileen.
I think I will. But you all have a good weekend, everyone. Catch us next Friday, all right?
See you later.
Good night.